They don't talk about us, only when there's a crime. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that in this world, with or without money, we're all rich, even the poor? The problem is those that say that I'm reaching out to give a hand and stay they leeching hands is itching, ready to see you missing. Well, thinking what to write, something inside me told me I can freestyle or I can rap. I can go with a rhythm that can make you dance. Tell you what I see on a daily, tell you everything's okay just to avoid dilemma. Or I can simply bring you something positive to the table and warn you of the ongoing problems that we're having. Instead, I have to reach out to my conscience once again as I watch the crime and the violence rise and the kids lose their innocence. Now the concept of forming a home day by day loses its essence. They don't want to hear that. I can't keep my arms crossed in front of the system. If I don't do something, I'm also part of the problem. As guilty as the one that pulls the trigger, like the person in the crowd that hits the record button on their phone to expose a lie instead of the truth for clout. They need 1,000 views. The government doesn't have a solution. The problem started when we took God out the equation. The problem ain't us celebrating. The problem is that we're a nation divided when we should be a nation united and praying. That's how we live today. When problems occur, we come up with an easy laugh a little, move on with no care in the world, as if it ain't even a thing in this world. If it's like this today, I don't want to see the future, because nowadays they'll make a meme out of a person that can't even see the day of light no more. What makes you think they care? They can't even break bread at the table. I don't know how you want to be rappers and lyricists can go on with life, living on an illusion of nothing good to write, talking about killing someone, selling drugs with pride, until the scripts are flipped and it's someone you love dies. Right? This ain't solved by activating the National Guards and going behind bars. This is deep, this is me and you. And they say as time passed by, we'll heal everything. Shit, you know these scars? I seen time flash by and never felt everything. Leaving me on standby, ready to kill everything. Alone in the mirror, looking at myself, say, girl, you're everything. You don't need for anything, shorty. So unless you walk a mile in my shoes, don't say anything. Just take a minute and listen so you can consume everything. Me and you are not the same, so make sure you look both ways when you cross me, and that's on everything. I remember the first time I made my mama a promise. I was so young, fucked up in the head, had to toughen up. Even though that was a promise I knew I could never keep. Just peep, cause this is deep. Mama, I try to reach. Why you try to breathe? You knew he was nothing but a leaf. He was just like Adam, but instead of the apple, he grabbed the fruit of your leaves, and to him they tasted like peaches. That's when I knew that promises were meant to be broken if they don't come from the heart. Damn, that's fucked up, mama. You put your child in the middle of your problems. You put your whole world on your child's shoulder, not once thinking that in the future she'll have her own birds. She screamed, "Mama, please," while she begged on her knees. Let my protector come back into my life with her wrist sliced in the air. God, please. As time passed by, she learned what a curse and a blessing was, and now she is blessed to be. This message. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch, thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one. Nowadays, your friends turn into enemies, and your family members are your biggest haters. Can't see you accomplish anything. What's even more crazy is that they say as time passed by, it will heal everything. I seen time flash by and it ruined everything, leaving me on standby, ready to kill everything. Alone in the mirror saying, girl, you're everything. You don't need for anything, shorty. So if you haven't walked a mile in my shoes, take a minute and listen so you can consume everything. Me and you are not the same, so make sure that when you cross me, you got motherfuckers talking about that they want to make a change, they want to make a difference, but still stuck in the same phase. You got motherfuckers talking about that they want to chase a bag, but stay at home and nag. Then when you ask them what they need, they say less talking, more opinions, no prayers with division. You ask me, y'all need to focus more on division, rely less on television. How you want a future, you have no vision. This world is just like fiction. What we need is more talking, less opinions, more prayers with no division. Before you come up with a conclusion, giving people false illusions, pick up a book, do your research, learn your history before you end up in a ditch making history. Division and religion isn't working. The only way to show God our faith and love is through our actions. Our convictions is the only thing that really unite us. One God, one nation, different beliefs. There's words that can't fly with the wind. There's insults that are not violent. Meanwhile, while you're holding them, they're killing you on the inside. If I was to tell you that I didn't hurt, I would be lying. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that there's truths that lie, especially when they're telling you that they're indifferent? Getting shoved to the side because you're different. There's a hug out there someone didn't receive today. Probably because of what was said about them yesterday. Probably because of the way they was dressed today. Not realizing that the one that they hate could be the one that saves their day. But you know what? Thanks to them, it's another day in history where you get to flip the pages to your book and speak your story. And Lord, it's unholy. But you know what hurts the most? As I walk down the street and I see how easily we're divided. When we all should be united. One body, one mind, one soul, a million talents. Lord, without you, we're all divided. Forgive them, Lord, for they don't know any better. They don't know that there's someone out there that loves them.
Glizzy, hey, 600, y'all know I'm about to carry it. Fuck the opposition. Y'all can eat a dick. Facts. Whoa, hey. Whoa, why these niggas claim they special when these niggas be bitches? I was down up in them trenches, know I ain't keep them glizzies. Niggas saying that they with me, but this shit getting sticky. Now these niggas writing statements, man, this shit getting wicked. I was really in them trenches, I was on my own. I see this nigga change the size, I had to grip the pole. Put that nigga in the past, man, nobody know. No cat niggas, they was pussy smoking on your folks. I wear my heart on my sleeve, that's cause I wanna ball. I was really in them trenches where this shit get dark. These niggas Gucci niggas, phony niggas, not my dog. Crush them all like Chris Paul. Throw back, we shoot 30, my young niggas won't get it off. I'm in them trenches, now I turn to a stepper. Opposition eat a dick, tell these niggas some catches. No, we slide through these strip up the Glick Hang brothers. Put that nigga in the past, has that nigga disrespecting. These niggas snakes, look, happy niggas screaming, fuck the Jason writing statements. Knowing young and ballin' like Kobe, I'm gonna make it. If the opposition like you know I'm gonna take it. Walking down 30 shots, really hating bacon. Posting on the 6 and selling fiends, fuck you mean. Just a young and ballin' like I'm Brian, nigga, get the cheese. Couple niggas change the lane, nigga, make a scene. Put that nigga in the past, nigga, get that.
Feeling us, niggas ain't feeling us. Chopping fast like karate, we slide so fill them up. This the flow like ice cream, a slight beam. I make a nigga post to the top of the block. The ops ain't with the fight team. Lizzie been with me since age of 19. Know I got the luck, cause as a buck, all the nigga did was the right thing. That was in my corner and called my sister my wifey. Put them on the headband, tied on the white tees. Talking disrespectful, don't listen if you don't like me. And everybody bleeds, so fuck it, I'm talking spicy. Swinging like I'm Rocky, these hooks will fuck up your body. Bullets to the face, fuck a case, burn a ID. Running through this maze, and heaven place got me plotting. And fuck all of them Jace, I see the lights, I ain't stopping. I'ma do the dash, got a blast in this rocket. With the mask, without a mask.
How you saying that you know me, but don't know me from Canopy? I know some real killers, they just saying why they riding upstate, hold up. Younger than that field now, just trying to control still now. Walk around that toaster, just know it's gonna be. It be crazy when them niggas you love, they try to do you reckless. Fuck you over just to put your body in the cash. And mom sitting there crying while she stressing, cause her son ain't got no blessings, cause he clutching all that action. Whoa, chasing big bro, nigga, every day and every night. Niggas walk around, yeah, nigga, it's a scary sight. So these niggas fuck me, man, I'm taking over. Caught that little nigga like a bite, blow him over. Hold up, these niggas pussy, know I'm playing for keeps. Know I run up in the field, just a nigga with. Hold up, these niggas gassing, know this shit ain't no beef. Hold up. Whoa, nigga know I got a bad bitch with a bad 10 with a 40, bout to blast. Niggas fuck the trash, niggas walking with a 6, man, they up the class. Nigga bout to go and change the lane, bout to give him gas. Nigga pussy, nigga, little nigga up the score, nigga, fuck you mean. These pussy niggas, they was soft, call Krispy Kreme. You know a young and ball like Kobe, bout to get it in. You know I'm shooting all these 30s, bout to get it bands. Oh, know these niggas ain't steppers. Couple niggas, this is 6, bout to go ahead and wet it. Put that nigga in the box, cause that nigga disrespecting. For my big brother Dan, I'ma go ahead and watch him. Pussy nigga, put that nigga in the past. Just a youngin' on the block, had to go and get the cash.
Know the day I lost it, cause on your side your niggas ballin'. And on my side my niggas ballin'. Watch the way you talkin', the stick with me gon' leave some coffins. Wrap the picture, here come the darkness. Brody with me steppin' from Philly, so we all in. Getting busy, glizzy with me like who the target. Try to stop, call me the bull, bitch, I'm a tourist. We exploring, Mexicana, her name was Dora. She extorting every nigga that crossed the border. Law and order, hesitation to get that torch up. Turn the war up, Glizzy kidnap a daughter. Turn the war up, Glizzy kidnap a daughter. Huh?
All right. Hey, what up, everybody? I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day. Listen, I've learned, give it some time. Let some people come in the room. If they don't come in the room, Shorty has said it time after time. She's going to continue with her live. Hey, let's talk about it. The link is right there for anybody that wishes to come in. hop on the live and give their perspectives on any of the videos that I do give. I want to I want to take a minute and I want to thank everybody that has shown a shorty support. Everybody that's been here, that has been rocking out with a shorty, because y'all don't gotta be here, but y'all here with a shorty. So I want to thank y'all. And once again, the link is right there. Anybody that wants to come up and talk, y'all more than welcome. These are the podcasts. Like, this is our podcast. So once again, a shorty wants to welcome everybody to the Riders for Life brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast, and let's talk about it all. And like I've said before, it's the podcast. Everything is going to be talked about. Let's talk about it all. Raw and uncut. Don't be ashamed. We just got to watch our language a little bit. Let's not drop the F-bomb so much. I'll be the first one. So that rule lands on me. So I ask everybody, please respect the mods. And let's get the show started, guys. So we're going to start off reacting to some of the news that have been happening lately. This is part 2 to yesterday's podcast. I want to thank everybody that showed love. I will be breaking down these podcasts into, little topics and uploading them into regular videos. And I've already said yesterday I will be doing Spanish uploads, and I will also translate them uploads into another video and upload them in English. I don't know how I might do it in the same video, but let's see how that works out. So let's get this topic started, guys. Let me share my screen real quick with y'all. So, like I said, we're going to be reacting real quick to the news. If y'all missed yesterday's podcast, check it out. We spoke on Ice Cube. I spoke on a lot of things. I reacted to a lot of videos. So today we're going to finish off that podcast. Let's see right here where we're going to start off at. All right. So I would love to start off this podcast by saying, right? Yesterday I was watching a movie on Tubi. And this movie was called God Forgives. No, that wasn't yesterday. That was the night before yesterday. Damn, I say yesterday because I was talking about it on somebody else's podcast. And that person was Let's Talk with Love. And she actually watched the same movie that I watched. And when I tell y'all, this is a must-watch movie. And the reason I'm bringing up this movie, God Forgives, I don't. So apparently, we have a pastor that killed his wife. So this happened over a month ago. I'm going to show y'all the little clip real quick in a second. Let me get it started. Hold on. Let's get rid of them ads. And while I'm waiting for this to get started, let me tell y'all a little bit about the movie God Forgives and I Don't. So basically in this movie, if you haven't watched it, I apologize.
You're finally mastering Grandma's 12-hour sauce. Your stovetop gave out in the 11th hour. Luckily, American Home Shield is there to fix or replace covered appliances and home systems.
Learning new details from police.
All right. So in this movie is about a young pastor, right? He has a passion to preach the Bible and stuff like that. He's married to this woman, and allegedly they have a kid together, right? There's a best friend involved in this and everything. So it's kind of like a twisted plot, right? So basically here we got two friends, right? A pastor that wants to preach the word to God and to the people that, of God, to the people that wants to hear it and only them, right? He doesn't want to do it for the money. He doesn't want to do it for the fame. He doesn't want to do it for the clout, none of that stuff. But the wife is another story, right? So let's make a long story real short because I want y'all to go see this movie on Tubi, God Forgives, but I don't. Basically, right, in this movie, we have, how can I say it? We have two friends, right, that are trying to help each other. The best friend wants to help the pastor, get his church up and running. The wife is really interested in the money. So all this is happening. Mind you, the pastor's best friend is a coach who teaches the pastor's son basketball. So a lot of y'all, I don't know how many of y'all have heard about hazing and stuff like that. Well, in this movie, something happens to this to the pastor's best friend when he was younger. He ended up winning a lawsuit, blah, 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 blah. He helps the pastor, gets his church with that money. But listen, what's crazy is, listen, I'm going to ask all of y'all this one question, right? As a mother, and this is more towards the mothers, as a mother, right? Doesn't matter who the person is. If you was to walk in a situation where you found somebody that you know, right? That you trusted this person with your child, and you found them doing things they shouldn't be doing to this child, would you sit there and, how can I say, blackmail this person? Would you bring in the law, or would you bring in some street justice? Well, I'm gonna let y'all, go watch this movie on Tubi and figure out what it is that this mom decided to do. All I could tell you is that I wanted to, grab this mom out the screen and, beat the crap out of her while I'm building her coffin. 7 feet under, right with the goddamn predator. All I could say is that even a pastor has his limits. Like, I want y'all to go watch this movie because it is a twist. There's a son involved, like I told y'all, the wife that only cares about the money, that cares about the fame, a pastor that wants to preach the word to, how in the world does a pastor at the end of this movie end up with, his best friend laying in the ground in a pool of blood with him pointing a gun at his wife? So I'm going to leave that for y'all right there. And we're going to get this topic started, right? So I just want y'all to go see that movie. It's called God Forgives, I Don't. So here we have a pastor that kills his wife, and we're about to find out why. Guys, thank y'all all that are having patience with a shorty. These are, all videos that I was supposed to have been doing, uploads to, but a shorty has a real life outside of YouTube, outside of Facebook. Pretty soon I'm gonna start doing this podcast both on Facebook and YouTube. So I appreciate everybody that is supporting a shorty. Thank you so much for those that share the videos, that like the videos, that comment on the videos, because it does help a shorty out. It doesn't just to help a shorty out, it helps also probably, listen, y'all comments and whatever y'all say when it comes to these videos, especially if they're, comments that are to help somebody else. You never know how they can help the next person. So let's watch this video and let me know what y'all think and what would y'all do if y'all was in this pastor's situation, in his feet, in his shoes, if y'all had to walk a mile in them.
In Mississippi about the charges that Danny Prenell Jr. is facing. He's the pastor of Bright Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church in Pineville, who's accused of shooting his wife and then himself at a Macomb hotel.
Thank you, Young Riaz. By the way, blessings, Young Riaz, blessings, Blue. I do apologize if I skipped that. Blessings to anybody else that has, popped up in the chat.
Alex Ornchuk's in the studio with more. And Alex, these are some pretty big developments.
Right, Brooke. Chief Juan Cloy with the Macomb Police told me today that 25-year-old Danny Prenell Jr. is facing a count each of aggravated domestic violence, disturbing a business, and disorderly conduct. Those charges stem from a shooting at a Macomb, Mississippi Hampton Inn hotel on June 21st. Police say Prenell shot his wife and then himself while there with his children. We obtained the photo of the crime scene you see on your screen from our media partners at the Enterprise Journal. Now, Chief Cloy would not say why Prenell was not charged with attempted murder or other more serious charges, and said the investigation is ongoing. We know Prenell survived his injuries, is in the custody at the Pike County Sheriff's Office, and his wife is still in the hospital in stable condition. The couple's children were placed in Child Protective Services custody after the shooting. We're also learning some new information about prior allegations of domestic violence against his wife through some documents we found in the Rapides Parish Courthouse. In 2016, his wife filed a petition for a protective order against Prenell and said that the petition detailed instances where Prenell was violent with her, saying, quote, "I've been constantly getting beaten by my husband and I fear for the life of myself and my unborn child." She goes on to say that Prenell often pointed guns and threatened to kill her. We also learned that Prenell was also briefly employed by the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office. RPSO told us today that Prenell was assigned to the Corrections Division in June of 2022 before he resigned in December that same year. Now, as we mentioned, the investigation is ongoing, and we'll bring you any more updates. Brooke?
All right, thank you, Alex.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I apologize. All right, I do apologize for that. I had a phone call coming in. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I got any comments. I can't even see it on the phone now. What happened? I hate when this happens, y'all. Alrighty. All right, so as y'all can see, they still investigating. I want to find out the update on this. I'm not sure what led this pastor to, commit domestic violence on his wife, to, abuse his wife, kill to the point where he shoots his wife and kills her, then shoots himself, but he doesn't pass away. Listen, man, my condolences to that pastor's wife. Something seriously is going on. I'm not sure if she was cheating. I'm not sure if he was cheating. Like, I'm not sure if something bad happened in this situation, but damn, like there's probably other ways. Like sometimes, like we just have to walk away, and it's crazy that we get in our emotions to the point where we can commit and act like that. And I think anybody could probably get into that point. Like we really have to learn how to humble ourselves, and because like how can we let somebody bring us to the point where we kill somebody or kill them for something that they did? Is it really that hard for us to walk away from certain situations? That's my biggest question today. Is it really that hard to walk away from certain situations? All right, so I'm about to hop on right to the next topic. Give me 1 second while I share my screen with y'all guys. All right, so in other news today, guys, let me make sure my screen is sharing. Yep. So apparently here in Philadelphia, the FBI are investigating. The FBI, I'm sorry, I was already shit. Police find a cell phone aimed investigation into a deadly shooting in Franklin. And this right here happened.
An update now to a story we first brought you last night at 11. Detectives are hoping that a cell phone found at the scene of a deadly shooting in Frankfurt can help in their investigation. The 22-year-old victim was shot multiple times just before 9:30 last night on the 1300 block of Erot Street. Responding officers rushed him to the hospital, but he did not survive. A handgun was found at the scene along with the phone. Investigators are working to determine whose items these are. An update now to a story we first brought you last night.
All right. So for those of you that missed it, listen, I be telling everybody there's something wrong with everybody. We got shooters out here, assassins, hitman, whatever they want to be called, claiming to be shooters and end up missing their target. Like, I don't listen. If y'all got a target and y'all aiming for that target, I suggest that a lot of y'all out here go, take some training, go out there and do some target practice or something, because a lot of y'all really listen. And not just that, what's crazy is, right, y'all left everything. Hopefully they find out who is a part of this shooting, and they deserve to be behind bars. Like, listen, I don't know who. Listen, the craziest thing is these niggas out here come. Y'all leave your ID, y'all leave the gun, y'all leave everything here that could identify y'all. Y'all are about the dumbest shooters out here. Y'all deserve to be, listen, nobody deserves to be shot out here for no apparent reason, and that's apparently what's happening lately. Like, motherfuckers out here claiming to, shoot somebody that they having some beef with, right? And sometimes half the time this beef that they be having is petty as shit. But the messed up part about it is, right, they don't aim at their target. They miss their damn target. It end up being somebody else who gets hit by a fucking bullet with no name. And that's the messed up part about it. Like, the people that have no parts of this are the ones that end up either injured in a hospital or dead. Like, what the fuck? I apologize for cursing so much, but damn. Moving into the next topic, guys. I'll be telling y'all, listen, I don't know what's up with a lot of people, but this right here is what a lot of people need. So, listen, shout out to these people that are doing this, because in my opinion, this is really needed. Let's wait for the ads to finish. Then I'll hit the unmute. I apologize. But this is crazy. Listen, a lot therapy work, guys. Listen, it may come out as a joke to a lot of people, but I'm dead serious about this. Hashtag mental health is serious. Therapy works.
Okay, finally at 4, her slogan is "Therapy is dope," and the mission is to bring mental health services to underserved communities. Sarah Andrews, a licensed therapist from North Philadelphia, is working to change the stigma one block at a time through a new set of wheels.
It was an idea 3 years ago.
Of course, you gotta have a couch, that's essential.
Turned into a reality. Licensed therapist Sarah Andrews is taking her new mobile therapy unit to the people who need it most, underserved Black and Brown communities. The North Philadelphia natives' first stop was a health and wellness fair with Dr. Ayla Stanford.
It felt amazing to be able to bring something to people. They didn't have to go anywhere.
Equipped with couches, art, and powered by solar panels, Andrews cut the ribbon on the new set of wheels this month. And when she's not seeing her own patients, Andrews is working with her nonprofit Dare to Hope, aimed at educating people about mental wellness after her friend died by suicide.
My goal is to normalize mental health, right? To normalize the conversations, to normalize getting to talk about our issues.
Especially as neighborhood beefs, followed by trauma from what's playing out on Philadelphia's blocks, coincide with the deadly shootings gripping the city.
When I think about gun violence, a lot of it is because we're dealing with so much stuff on the inside and we don't know what to do with it. So a lot of times it plays out as anger. A lot of times it plays out like I can't resolve conflict. So what do we do with that, right? So this is going to be a tool to help, I hope, to curb the gun violence, right? If we give people a safe place to talk, if we allow people to process their emotions, if we allow people to get the tools to process PTSD, then we might be better off as a city.
Meeting people where they are. Andrews says the goal is to use the van as much as possible, whether it's at community events or even when people reach out directly for services. Guys?
Very great. Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's a fact. Like, listen, a lot of people may think, like, listen, I hear a lot of people say, I don't need therapy. I hear a lot of people say therapy is for the weak. Listen, at the end of the day, some of us need to talk to somebody, and we don't really have somebody right there. We don't have somebody that'll give us the proper advice or none of that. Hey, we just got people sitting right there waiting to hear what we got to say because they hate and they envy whatever it is that we're doing. We're doing something really good, but to them, listen, they'll make you feel like you're doing the worst thing in this world. That's why sometimes it's hard to trust people. But listen, ain't nothing wrong with sitting here and accepting some therapy, going to therapy. Some of us really need, like, at the end of the day, listen, medication is not going to always solve the problem. Like, we really need to get a grip of ourselves and what we do in life. Like, don't be ashamed if you have to go see a therapist. Like, what this woman is doing right here, I got to give her roses. Shout out to this lady. She's doing it right here in Philadelphia. Hopefully more therapists come and do this, because when I tell y'all that the HIPAA law is out of control, out of pocket, it's not really helping nobody, especially the kids with autism, the kids that are in the spectrum, the kids with Down syndrome, schizophrenia, and much more. Listen, I suggest that if this is something that they'll offer in your community, don't reject it. Take it. Because these buildings out here with the therapy and the psychiatrists and all that stuff that they're giving, psychology and all that, the psychologists and all that, listen, they just trying to shove medication down our kids' throats because that's what the schools want. And in reality, these medications ain't helping our kids. And that's my opinion. Mine's. Moving on to the next topic, guys. Yo, I'm telling y'all, this pandemic started and this whole world started acting crazy, man. Like, I really don't know. All right, so this is the video that I was about to jump into when I said FBI and I didn't mean to. So let me bring it down a little bit so I can be able to press play. Let's get rid of these ads. Yo, I'm telling you that motherfuckers have nothing better to do out here, y'all. Like, it's crazy because people really think they can't see their faces, but I really think that their faces can be seen.
Robbers. The crime's happening just 7-Elevens in the happening overnight. 2 more 7-Elevens in the area were the targets of armed robbers. The crime's happening just hours after the FBI announcing that it is investigating at least 5 other recent 7-Eleven robberies.
And let me pause this right here, right? And let y'all know, listen, I live in Philly. Oh, I don't like that screen. Why you made my little thingy small? Weirdo. Oh, shit. All right. I live in Philly, right? And I'm trying to figure out why the hell I've been to so many 7-Elevens. What would make somebody rob a 7-Eleven? Like, there's not really a lot of, like, I barely see people in 7-Eleven like that. Like, I get there, you know, people go through and get their little slushies and their little coffees and stuff like that. But I barely see the 7-Elevens popping the way I've seen Wawas and stuff like that. Like, what is y'all robbing at these 7-Elevens that has got the fucking FBI watching y'all?
Bucks, Montgomery, and Delaware counties. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson live for us outside the 7-Eleven there along Fayette Street in Conshohocken, one of the locations robbed overnight. Sharifa, what are you learning about these crimes?
Well, Ray, this happened just before 1:30 this morning. The owner tells me that one employee was inside at the time. He is okay. Meanwhile, police, they continue to investigate this. They say that they believe that the suspects are getting more bold and also more dangerous. They came in quick, both armed with handguns. It happened today at 1:25 in the morning. The clerk seen here with his hands raised before he was directed to the cash register. The robbers got away with more than $600. All this unfolded in a matter of minutes at the 7-Eleven on Fayette Street in Conshohocken. A big surprise to customers today.
It's kind of eerie to hear that that a 7-Eleven got hit like this, and then especially, unfortunately, that, you know, more were hit.
Because just 30 minutes later in Roxborough,
at the 7-Eleven, taking was unknown amount of USC from the register.
Thieves hit the 7-Eleven on Ridge Avenue in Schurz Lane. Police say in this robbery, 2 men with handguns took cash from the register, then ran away.
At night, during the day, it's peaceful around here. So I'm surprised it really happened.
It's just the latest in a string of armed robberies at 7-Eleven convenience stores. The FBI put out an alert Monday, but they haven't connected these 2 armed robberies despite similarities in what happened. At least 5 7-Elevens robbed between July 22nd and 30th in Montgomery, Bucks, and Delaware counties, all between midnight and 2 a.m. Police believe 3 men have been working together. In the most recent robberies, only 2 people were involved. Joe Clisholm expressing concern over his local Roxborough store. He says the crime sprees are out of hand.
I go there all the time, man. They're great people. They always say hello, no matter who you are. You walk in, good morning, hello. So, I mean, it's just one of those unfortunate things. I mean, you're putting people's lives in danger. You're putting people's families in danger.
Yeah, and this is usually a 24-hour location here in Conshohocken. The owner tells me moving forward, he will be closing the store between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. for the safety of all of his employees. He also says that he plans to install even more surveillance cameras and update some of his lots. We're live in Conshohocken. Sharifa Jackson, Channel 6 Action News.
Yeah, increasing safety measures. Sharifa, thanks for the update.
Yo.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second because I'm about to show y'all the update. Give me 1 second. Yo, I really don't know. Like she said, it's like, yo, you go to a 7-Eleven, you barely see a lot of people when you go to these 7-Elevens compared to these Wawas here in Philly. and the majority of them are closed because of the homeless and stuff like that. How much, like, what's the point of robbing a 7-Eleven? And that's going to be my biggest question. Like, what did, like, I'm telling y'all, people are willing to lose their life and go to jail or go to jail for the dumbest things. So hold on one second. I got the update right here. Where'd it go? Here we go.
Our top story, armed and dangerous. Tonight, the FBI is joining the hunt for 3 men terrorizing workers and customers at local convenience stores. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for NBC 10 News at 11. I'm Jacqueline London.
And I'm Fred Shropshire. This group of thieves has been working quickly. 5 armed robberies in 3 counties over the last 10 days, and all at 7-Eleven stores.
NBC 10's Johnny Archer is joining us live from one of the stores that was hit. Johnny.
Yeah, Jackie, we're at the 7-Eleven in Sharon Hill on Chester Pike, and the FBI says that these suspects have been targeting these stores anywhere between midnight and 2 a.m. They say there's typically 3 suspects involved. One will watch the door while the other 2 go inside and rob the store at gunpoint. The FBI and local police are looking for these 3 armed suspects who...
And you know what's crazy? People wonder why we can't make a difference and why we can't make a change. Look at the dumb shit people be doing. Like, y'all robbing in your own community. In your own community.
Police say are connected to several robberies at 7-Elevens across the Delaware Valley. This surveillance video shows 3 masked suspects dressed in all black, purple gloves and armed with guns in Haverford Township, Delaware County, along West Eagle Road. The FBI says that robbery happened on July 22nd, along with another robbery in Aston Township. Then, on July 27th, the 7-Eleven in Sharon Hill is robbed, and 2 more robberies on July 30th in Montgomery Township, Montgomery County, and Upper Southampton Township.
Blessings, the word, blessings.
In Bucks County.
They're very shaken up.
We spoke to an employee at the 7-Eleven in Sharon Hill who spoke to us about his coworker getting robbed. This video from their store shows the suspects with their guns drawn as they took money from the register. The employee we spoke to says he was also robbed several years ago while working in 7-Eleven.
They pointed their guns and told me to open the money in the register and everything like that. Threatened me to not say anything and then, ran off. I'm still a little traumatized by it.
The FBI believes these suspects might be connected to at least 5 armed robberies within the past 10 days. Police hope to identify and arrest them before they strike again.
It doesn't make me feel really safe, because who knows when they could come in right now. I have no idea. And that's concerning.
So the FBI says that there is a reward for anybody that has information that leads to an arrest. They also say that anybody who leaves a tip can also remain anonymous. We're live in Sharon Hill. Johnny Archer, NBC 10 News.
I'm going to be very honest. I don't care how deep it gets. I ain't going to sit here and rob no damn 7-Eleven. I don't know what happened, but listen, right? The word lessons. I don't know if you see Nate, right? The word. But when you see Nate, tell him that his raccoon escaped again. Like, he need to go find his raccoon. He's out there, causing havoc. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I find it. Yeah, it's right here. So the word, it looks like Nate's raccoon came all the way to Philly, man. He causing havoc in the airport. He won't let people chill. So if anybody that knows where Nate the Great Podcast is at, let him know his raccoon escaped.
What you see right here, this is cell phone video of a raccoon on the baggage carousel yesterday at PHL. As you might guess, it gave passengers quite the scare. Action News reporter Taronda Thomas joining us now live at the airport tonight. Taronda, as much as we'd like to think this is uncommon, turns out it's really not.
No, it's not. And the airport says usually when raccoons do show up, they stay out of public areas. This one, though, did not. Baggage claim is a pretty straightforward operation. You wait, the bag drops. But Tuesday night, something else dropped in. Girl, what? A raccoon. It popped out of a luggage chute Tuesday night.
Yo, she said, girl, what? But I would have jumped too. Like, what the fuck? Yo, fucking raccoon. This nigga over here torturing people. Nate, come get your nigga over here.
A raccoon. We've never seen anything like that traveling, have we, girls? Sarah Higgins was behind the camera. Her daughter was behind that squeal. And tried to jump on it. And I squealed. The family is visiting from
You should say
Australia.
they tried to jump on her. I think it just tried to take her snack.
Her daughter was behind the Sarah Higgins was behind the camera. Her daughter was behind that
Yeah,
squeal.
he just wanted some food.
And I squeal. The family is visiting from Australia. Sarah's husband arrived at about 7:30 last night on a flight from Los Angeles. Just before the bag started rolling, the raccoon started running. We could just see his little tail, and we were like, that is a live animal. What is it? But the airport spokesperson says passengers shouldn't be so surprised, given the airport's proximity to the Hines National Wildlife Refuge.
This one looks like he was just trying to get back outside and, made a wrong turn.
It might have been the same turn this guy made.
Yo, that he get the cash register.
Showed up last October, sticking its hands through a vent in an airport shop and snagging a pack of Twizzlers.
Hey.
So now they know there's an issue. Is there a way that they can prevent this from happening?
Because we saw it, we're able to close off that access point.
But the airport says it would be too hard to close off every area where a small animal could get in.
It's not that we're infested with raccoons or the animals.
There's no telling what happened to the baggage bandit or the candy culprit, but the airport works with the USDA to set humane traps.
Man, the problem is that Nate forgot his raccoon. The raccoon mad at Nate. So that raccoon made his way from all the way from New York, Jersey, the Bronx. I forgot where Nate is at. He's somewhere over there. All the way to Philly to come and torture. He's mad at his owner. They be arguing on the lives, but it's okay. He'll make it back to his master. Trust me. All Nate got to do is just pop up and call that little nigga.
And release raccoons back into the wild. Passengers just hope this little guy's detour leads him to the right destination, out of the airport. Did the raccoon get his bag?
Well, we're going to say yes, he did.
Okay, now the raccoon got away, just scurried away. Everything's okay. If you see a raccoon at the airport, though, can't believe I'm saying that, don't approach it. Instead, tell the nearest airport employee. We're live at Philadelphia International Airport. Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News.
All right, Nate, I apologize for that, but your raccoon came all the way to Philly to cause havoc. So, I had to, tell you, I don't know if you've seen him, if y'all been arguing in y'all past couple lives or not, but if you haven't seen him, it's because he's over here in Philly, all right? I'll let you know when I see him, all right? Now, in other news, fucking raccoons. The first time ever, I've never seen this in my life. So apparently, trolleys can turn themselves on and run into historic buildings here in Philadelphia. We have a trolley that apparently, I don't know how in the world this trolley, man, listen, I think somebody turned this trolley on. But hey, they say they can't figure it out to save their lives.
Trolley ended up crashing into the side of an historic house in Southwest Philadelphia last evening. Officials are now trying to figure out how the runaway trolley derailed, traveled half a mile, and then into that 250-year-old property. Action News reporter Becca Henderson is live at the intersection of Island and Woodland Avenues with the full story tonight. Becca.
Rick, officials still have no idea how that SEPTA trolley started running in the first place. It was out of service with no conductor on board, and here is the result. You can see a whole
trolley out of service with no conductor. This nigga was possessed. I'm not even gonna say the nigga. This thing was possessed. Like, Yo, it's crazy because they're about to come out with that new Exorcist movie too, right? Shit, now we got possessed trolleys out here.
In this more than 250-year-old historic home. I just spoke with the caretaker of this property. She says she's lucky to be alive. Surveillance video shows the moment a rogue septic trolley crashed into a more than 250-year-old home,
Boom.
damaging a piece of American history.
For SEPTA, these are very...
Video shows the moment a rogue septic trolley crashed into a more than two property. She says she's lucky to be alive. Surveillance video shows the moment a rogue septic trolley crashed into a more than 250-year-old home, damaging a piece of American history.
For SEPTA, these are very, very concerning, very serious incidents.
It happened just before 11 Thursday night on Island and Woodland Avenues. SEPTA says this trolley should not have been running.
It was out of service, no operator, no driver on that vehicle. There was a mechanic on it performing work.
SEPTA says it likely...
Yo, so did the mechanic, make a mistake and turned it on by accident and they trying to cover it up or something? Because there's no way in hell this trolley could have just turned on by itself. Like, unless Casper the Friendly Ghost was inside that, John. Or I forget what's her name. What is it, Invisible Girl? What's her name? The one that turns invisible? Yeah, from The Incredibles. Shit, like, what the fuck? It makes no sense. A trolley turning on by itself. Supposedly no electricity running, no nothing. Like, how in the world did this shit just happen?
Derailed right after leaving the station. As it picked up speed down Island Avenue, the trolley crashed into a car, injuring two people, and then into the Bluebell Inn, where one resident lived.
It looks to me like there is really no structural damage.
John Hyges has worked since the 80s to preserve the home. It's a historic tavern built in 1766, a place George Washington and his soldiers would often go.
It's kind of a connection with what we have in the past. Charles Lloyd, who was the innkeeper there, was also involved in anti-slavery activities.
The house is currently owned by the city's Parks and Recreation Department. Advocates hope it's repaired quickly. As crews were back Friday working on the damage, SEPTA says it's investigating how this crash happened. This is the fifth SEPTA crash in less than a week. In all of those incidents, there have been 24 injuries and 1 death.
Trying to reinforce that it is safe to travel on SEPTA, and I know that that's difficult for a lot of people to hear right now.
A SEPTA's board also says it's deeply concerned by this series of incidents and it's in close contact with management. Meanwhile, management says it is considering some changes, including adding more safety officers at night. Live here in Southwest Philadelphia, Becca Hendrickson, Channel 6.
All right. So if SEPTA is apparently having issues, right? Hold on. Pause this thing right here. So if SEPTA is apparently having issues with their trolleys and it's not their first time something like this happening, why not hurry up and do something? Because there's no way. Listen, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be blunt with this. I have a feeling that somebody is behind all this. Like, because there's no way. Like, make it make sense. Unless the mechanic that was working on that trolley that day did something and it kind of like triggered the thing to go, kind of crazy, but I doubt that shit. Like, somebody caused that to happen. And other news for all those of you out here that don't know what's going on with the Philadelphia schools. Y'all do know that I speak a lot when it comes about the school, so I'm about to update y'all. If y'all are in another city or in another state, I urge y'all to look up what's happening with your school district. So right now, if you're in Philadelphia, this is what's happening with our schools. So let's give this 1 second because I need that commercial to go away so I can unmute that. Because even for a damn commercial, YouTube will sit here and fuck with you. You ain't even do shit. Damn, I thought I...
Money that would otherwise be going to school districts right now. With back to school on the horizon, Pennsylvania's budget impasse is holding up money that would otherwise be going to school districts right now. NBC 10's Lauren Make is outside South Philadelphia High School with the very latest. So, Lauren, what is the status right now?
Well, Jacqueline, the budget was due a month ago, and we are now getting to the point where school districts like Philadelphia would be starting to get payments from the state. Now, the governor's office sent out a letter to school districts around Pennsylvania, setting out a list of the types of payments that just won't be going out. That money is being delayed. And if this impact continues longer, that list, that could get longer as well. Now, this afternoon here at South Philadelphia High School, lawmakers and union representatives gathered to draw attention to the need for renovations at this particular school and at others around the Commonwealth. Some people held signs at a news conference they had here against vouchers, which was a sticking point in this budget. Now, I spent today reaching out to school leaders about the impact of the impasse right now. Here's what the Norristown superintendent told me.
Usually over the summer, we rely on that first infusion of state money when we're waiting for those local taxes to come in to just everything from meeting payroll to all our summer ordering, all the supplies we order.
So I'm gonna pause this real quick right here. Once again, the same question that everybody asks: what the fuck is what in the world are they doing with all these taxes that we're paying and everything? Like, they take taxes from everything. We even pay taxes, right? Allegedly, they go to these schools, but we're not dumb, right? So let me play this real quick so I can say what I want to say. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for the purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Fair use allows limited use of copyrighted material without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, parody, news reporting, research, and scholarships and teaching. Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this video or any video, including the Writers for Life Brings You to Let's Talk About It podcast, do not reflects on the opinions of your shorty Rachel and the members of the Writer for Life podcast. Everything we talk about is allegedly and is our opinion. Our videos are not recommended for minors. Everything we talk about and do is meant for educational purposes and also entertainment. Please keep in mind that the majority of our videos are for educational purposes only. This world is crazy. I would say shady. Ironic, right? Nowadays, you can't trust no one. When you do, niggas be having their panties all in a bunch, thinking that they own one. Saying the things that you accomplished in life is theirs and that you owe them one. All right. So like I was about to say, we're not stupid, all right? We know where all this money is going to. Like, at one point, even Michael Jordan sat here and it's like, damn, y'all sit here and y'all buy all this name brand stuff. We buy all these Jordans and everything, right? For what? For him to make this money to give to them to open up all these prisons. Y'all don't get it. Y'all not waking up yet. Like, the system is rigged. I'm talking about the school system. Our kids, the majority of our kids are not even graduating. Shout out to all them kids and all them parents that help their kids graduate and, you know, make it through the system, this cruel ass world. Because this damn system, the school system, is messed up. And the only way that we can change it is if we come together. But we're too divided, focused on what the next hooker has in his pocket, focused on the color of this person's skin, and not worrying about what's really happening around us. Do y'all know they don't really talk about us unless we commit a crime? Do y'all know that? They don't talk about us only when there's a crime. Would you believe me if I was to tell you that in this world, with or without money, we're all rich, even the poor? The problem is those that say that I'm reaching out to give a hand and stay they leeching hands is itching, ready to see you missing. Well, thinking what to write, something inside me told me I can freestyle or I can rap. I can go with a rhythm that can make you dance. Tell you what I see on a daily, tell you everything's okay just to avoid dilemma. Or I can simply bring you something positive to the table and warn you of the ongoing problems that we're having. Instead, I have to reach out to my conscience once again as I watch the crime and the violence rise and the kids lose their innocence. Now the concept of forming a home day by day loses its essence. They don't want to hear that. I
can't keep my arms crossed in front of the system. If I don't do something, I'm also part of the problem. As guilty as the one that pulls the trigger, like the person in the crowd that hits the record button on their phone to expose a lie instead of the truth for clout. They need 1,000 views. The government doesn't have a solution. The problem started when we took God out the equation. The problem ain't us celebrating. The problem is that we're a nation divided when we should be a nation united and pray. That's how we live today. When problems occur, we come up with a meaning. Laugh a little, move on with no care in the world, as if it ain't even a thing in this world. If it's like this today, I don't want to see the future. Because nowadays, they'll make a meme out of a person that can't even see the day's light no more. What makes you think they care? They can't even break bread at the table. I don't know how you want to be rappers and lyricists can go on with life, living on an illusion of nothing good to write. Talking about killing someone, selling drugs with pride, until the scripts are flipped and it's someone you love dies. Right? This ain't solved by activating the National Guards and going behind bars. This is deeper. This is me and you. And they say as time passed by, we'll heal everything. Shit, you know these scars? I seen time flash by and never felt everything. Leaving me on standby, ready to kill everything. Alone in the mirror, looking at myself, say, girl, you're everything. You don't need for anything, shorty. So unless you walk a mile in my shoes, don't say anything. Just take a minute and listen so you can consume everything. Me and you are not the same, so make sure you look both ways when you cross me, and that's on everything.
And that's a fact. We're too divided. Our kids is the target, and we're too busy focusing on money. Money doesn't even have value no more. So listen, I'm gonna take a minute real quick. The word, if you is still in the chat, leave your link down there. The word is somebody y'all would like to go visit. Y'all want to know, about our history, about things that are going around us. If y'all want to understand a little bit, because listen, he's a good guy to break a lot of things down. Like, there's so many things going on around us, especially the stuff with the schools. It's to the point, the word has said it. Nate the Great has said it. Other bloggers here on YouTube have said it. It's to the point where we're going to have to boycott because they're doing whatever they want with our kids and we're letting them. Jennifer Lewis at one point said, take away their funds before they take away our sons. And I added to that phrase, that quote that she said, we're giving them our funds and they're still taking our sons. When in the world are we going to wake the fuck up and smell the coffee? Our kids matter. They are the target, especially our kids that have hashtag mental health issues, especially our kids that are in the spectrum. Like, there's so many things that I could say, but you know what I can say and that I could prove? That I made my stand. And I wasn't scared of the school district. I wasn't scared of them. I fought against them. They told me to quit. They told me to tell my son to give up his rights. And me as a mother, I couldn't do that. So this is what I've been doing ever since. I've been advocating for all the kids that can't make it, all the mothers that are scared to speak up. You can't speak up. Speak up. Yes, there's a teacher union out there. Yes, they could come at you. They could say whatever they want. I was taught sticks and stones can break your bones, but names can never hurt you. Say whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, this is a mission that I have to sit here and see through. Because our kids matter. If I was able to help my child, what makes y'all think that y'all can't? Our kids are bad. Our kids are going to go through things in life. We was kids at one point. They have a life too, separate from our lives. We just have to be there to guide them, and we're not doing that. While the schools are taking advantage and stepping in, doing the job that we're supposed to do, let's make it make sense. Y'all want these teachers to teach our kids when they don't give a fuck. Shout out to the ones that do, though. Shout out to the ones that do. Give them those roses because, there's a lot of teachers out here that by any means necessary, and they don't care what happens to them, they'll help a child succeed and get to where they have to. I need a lot of y'all parents to really stop thinking that the school is supposed to teach our kids. It starts at home. Man, the school system is rigged. If you didn't hear Michael Jordan sit here that time and say it, that Us dumb motherfuckers out here in the urban community, all we do is sit here and spend money on his name brand clothes and shoes. And what does he do? Open up more prisons. For who? For our urban men. It don't matter if they're black or Hispanic. They're both landing in jail. And guess who's ending up with no fathers? Our children. That's how the hell we end up with fatherless children. Like, come on, like half of these men are in jail innocent. Innocent. Half of them. And the ones that belong in there are out here walking free. That's the part about it. And what are these happy trigger cops doing? Shit. They're part of it too. All they see is blue. Shout out to the doctors, shout out to the firefighters, shout out to the nurses, shout out to all them real heroes out there. And shout out to them cops that actually do really care and don't see blue. But moving on to the next. Nope, we're not moving on. Damn, see, I almost messed up. Let's keep watching this real quick. My bad. It's that, yo, I don't understand where parents' heads be at sometimes.
Order to be ready for the first day of school, we usually count on that first day payment to help us meet those bills. And right now, we're dipping into our savings account, our fund balance, and we're using those local tax dollars as they come in to make those payments.
And he says they want to do everything they can to make sure that it doesn't affect students and that it doesn't affect their staff. But it's sort of a double whammy because this also affects federal dollars that pass through the state. Some of those are being held up as well. Now, after this event here at South Philadelphia High School ended, I did catch up with the Philadelphia school superintendent.
These schools are way underfunded already. They say the taxes go to these schools. Well, I haven't seen nothing being done. Listen, I see a couple programs coming out here, but that's not enough. I'm going to be very honest and say it. Like, I don't care who gets mad at me. The majority of these programs that are out here are not enough. And they're really, really needed out here in the hood. They're not needed out there in downtown in the nice areas. They're not needed where, how can I say it, in the rich neighborhoods. Let's call it like that. Because people's going to right away say, oh, the white neighborhoods. Listen, I'm not going to turn this into no race or no color. Right now, guess what? We're in the middle of just rich and poor. There's no more middle class. Money, that cash paper that y'all so worried about, that y'all willing to lose y'all lives to the point where y'all here on social media and everywhere clout chasing, it's been lost its value. It's to the point where they're trying to make everything just digital. Wake up and smell the coffee. Save your child. What you going? You ready to build a casket? There's parents out here building caskets no bigger than 2 to 3 feet. No bigger than 2 to 3 feet. And that's a shame.
Dr. Tony Watlington, and we will hear from him coming up at 5 o'clock. Live in South Philadelphia, I'm Lauren Make, NBC 10 News.
Yeah, the school season will be here before we know it. We'll see you at 5 o'clock. Lauren, thank you.
You know what gets me mad? The bullshit lie that they said, that they're not sure what they could do. The school's been underfunded. They've been took programs out. They've been did all that. A lot of parents are sitting here fighting, but guess what? There's not enough parents united. All of y'all sit here and cry, but guess what? How many of y'all going to actually make that stand? I could talk, especially on this situation, because I made my stand. And by the way, for those of you that haven't signed it yet, make sure y'all sign that petition. Let's put cameras in each and every one of our classrooms, in each and every one of our schools, so that we can help our kids, especially the ones that are in the spectrum, if they ever have to encounter a time where they have to go to court and defend themselves because of some type of altercation that happened in the schools. And it'll also help the teachers that, don't cause these problems, because there's teachers out here that do cause the problem. I'm sorry to say it, but they are a part of the damn problems that are happening in these schools and much more. It'll also help prevent the how can I say it? the sexual assaults and molestations in our schools. Like, if y'all haven't seen it or if y'all haven't woken up yet and, smelled that coffee, yes, it's gotten all the way up to our elementary schools, our middle schools, where our kids are getting molested and much more. That it's getting real bad, really, really bad. So if you're not a part of your child's life, I suggest that you are. Gonna do a part 3 to this, and it's gonna be on some middle of the night type of thing, like some 3 a.m., probably maybe 4 a.m., 5 a.m. thing. So I'm gonna finish this up because I still gotta speak on the missing kids. I still gotta speak on the mother's charged with killing her child, a grandmother charged with I think killing her grandkids or being a part of killing her grandkids, a father charged with killing. Listen, this is crazy. It's a world kill world out here, y'all. So I want to thank everybody that has shown support. I will see y'all on part 3. And if y'all not able to catch part 3, just catch the replay. But I'm trying my best to, catch y'all up with everything. And I hope that y'all enjoy the stream. I hope y'all enjoy the content. And once again, these are open panels. Y'all are more than welcome to hop on each and every one of my lives and give y'all perspectives. We're not here to judge. We're not here to bring nobody down. So until next time, this is y'all Shorty Rachel. I hope all of y'all have a blessed and humble day. And stay tuned for part 3. So I'm sorry I had to break it down like this. But like I told y'all, listen, Shorty has a real life. Thank you all for the support, y'all. Make sure y'all sub up. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share the video. Help a Shorty bring awareness. Let's do this. Let's network. Let's build. Each one, teach one.